أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلق أجمعين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وخاتم النبيين حبيبنا وحبيب إليه العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين ولا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين ولعنة الدائم على أعدائهم أجمعين على يوم الدين. Assalamu alaikum to the brothers and sisters and the esteemed elders. May inshallah Hazrat Zahra salamullah alayhi have accepted our mourning for Abu Abdullah Hussein, and may inshallah these nights not be the last chances that we have to purify our hearts and to elevate us into the realm of Allah, inshallah, and to be in the side of haqq and in the side of Imam Zaman alayhi salam, inshallah. As you can see, brothers and sisters, we've reached to the night of Ashura, the height of these nights, the night that could say is one of the most important nights in the year, a chance for all to reach salvation, a chance for all to elevate themselves in some way. All of these nights that we have, for example, whether it be in Laylatul Qadr, whether it be 15th of Sha'ban, whether it be these specific and special nights that we have, they're all blessings from Allah. They're all opportunities that we have to use to be able to take this opportunity and use it to the best of my ability to get closer to Allah. One of these events and one of these opportunities which is like no other is Ashura, is Muharram. Because the story of Abu Abdullah, the event of Abu Abdullah, is an event of Tawheed. It is Tawheed in the sense, or is explaining Tawheed in a way that no one has explained Tawheed in this way or shown Tawheed in this way. It's represented Tawheed in a way, in a beautiful way that it has not happened before, to this extent, to this height. And the previous nights I mentioned to the brothers and sisters that, for example, we know how important the Eid al-Qurban is. Why? Because Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam showed his Tawheed towards Allah. He sacrificed his son because Allah told him to sacrifice. With Abu Abdullah, it wasn't just one, it was sacrificing of everything for Allah. Everything. That's why it was so great. There was nothing left. This story of sacrifice shows Tawheed in a sense that Tawheed is not just an ideology. Tawheed, and I sense in the way of ideology, I mean it's not just a thought in the head. When we say La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah is not just a thought or an idea I have that has no action behind it. La ilaha illallah has an action behind it. Who showed us this? Abu Abdullah Hussein. He showed if you believe in La ilaha illallah, if you truly believe in this notion, if you believe that there is no God, first is that there is no God but Allah. So you're cleaning out everything. All these false gods that we pray to, all of them are false. We don't take any of them apart from Allah. Or La ilaha illallah, or La ilaha illahu, which is in some cases higher. Because we're saying that which we cannot even comprehend in its entirety. That which we cannot comprehend in its entirety, that is what I am praying to. Or we say, for example, the Allah that Rasulullah prays to. Why? Because he's the one that can understand what a true servant is supposed to be, what Allah in its highest, in the highest most, for example, degree is. He can understand it. But the concept that I have is weak. Now question, does that mean I cannot bring this concept higher? Yes, I can. And we've mentioned this in the previous lectures. We can bring this concept higher. How? By our own actions. The better our actions are, the more knowledge we have. Why do you say this? Because we say that knowledge, true knowledge, which is Tawheed, is a light that enters your heart because Allah sees that you are worthy now to enter your heart. How do I become worthy? I act upon what Allah has told me to act on. The do's and don'ts. Taking care of others. It's very important. Taking care of other hearts. All the things that we've been mentioning these previous nights. These are all important. If I can do that, then I am ready. I'm ready for Allah to bestow upon me this tawheed, this ilm, this knowledge. And then when I have been given that, the more I act on it, again, the higher I go, and so on and so forth. We can see this in the story of Hazrat Ibrahim, brothers and sisters. For Hazrat Ibrahim, what happens is that first he doesn't have the maqam of imamat. When he sees the story that, for example, the birds, and we all know the story of crushing the birds together and then calling upon each of them, and then each of them come to Hazrat Ibrahim. When he sees hal yuhyi mawta, how he brings the dead back to life, another knowledge, another ilm, another realm of haqiqat is given to him, and because of this, فَجَعَلَكُمُ الْإِمَامَ. He reaches to that maqam. He reaches that maqam. For the Ma'sumin alayhi salam, there is no read. From the beginning they are in that maqam. That's different. For the 14 Ma'sumin, that maqam is a bit different. Inshallah, that for another time. But the fact that yes, Iman, there is levels into it. And I can rise in these levels with my own actions. And by asking Allah that I do want it. And then acting upon it. Of course, asking is an important part in this trying to reach Allah. However, it's very important. So that we know that in the Quran it says, "Oh, you who believe, believe." What is this a sign of? That there is levels. There's levels into this. It doesn't mean, okay, we just have this thing about Iman and that's it. The first thing that we believe in, La ilaha illallah, okay, there is no God but Allah. What about in action? In action, it means when I truly say that there is no, that means I don't worship anything other than God. What is worship? You have to understand what worship is. Is worship only this bowing? Is that only it? Worshipping something, brothers and sisters, means that you obey that thing. Obedience is a part of worship. Obedience. If I am obedient to my own urges, then what am I? Then who am I praying to? To this nafs. I'm obedient to this. So what am I truly worshipping? My own nafs, myself, my urges. Because praying is not just going to sajda and prostrating. Prostrating, but with an intention of what? Of obedience. I am obedient to Allah. And this is exactly what we meant about ubudiyat. What's ubudiyat? The truth of reaching to Allah in the path of spirituality. What is it? Is being an abd. Is ubudiyat. هَذَا عِبُدُونِي صِرَاطَ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ Surah Yasin, ayah 61. It's showing this obedience. Now if I want to be obedient, then I have to act on what Allah has told me. It's not just an ideology. Let's not have this thought that, okay, La ilaha illallah is just a few words that I must say. It's something I must act on. It's deeper than this. It's much deeper than this. It's not just words. It's show me in action. That when they come to you and say, we will give you the wheats of Ray and stand against Imam Hussein, what will you say? Over there, show me La ilaha illallah. Show it to me. Don't just say La ilaha illallah. Otherwise, if it was saying, then the other side of the army, of course, in the Sipah of Yazid, they were doing it. They were saying La ilaha illallah. They were saying the zikr of Allah when they were martyring Abu Abdullah Hussein. To this extent, they were misguided. They were saying the zikr of Allah while martyring Abu Abdullah Hussein. What is this a sign of? Not words, but action. When I stand up for prayer and I say Allahu Akbar, Allah is greater than anything. That means don't think about anything else. Forget everything else. Become like Amir al-Mu'mineen in prayer. Become like him where you don't even feel pain. And you say, well, is that possible? Can I do? Yes, you can. It takes steps. At least to our own level, yes, it can. It can happen that I have more attention to my prayer. How? How can I do that? There's a few practical ways. One, we need to understand what we're saying. We need to understand what we're saying. Every aspect of the salat that I perform, I need to understand what it's saying. It shouldn't be the case that even however young we are, even if we are teaching our children about namaz or salat, it doesn't mean that I just teach them the words. No, I explain to them what it means. To the understanding that they have, and this understanding will grow. This understanding, it will definitely grow. So I explain to them, these are the words that you're saying. And another thing, having attention that who am I saying these words to? I'm saying it to Rabb al-Alameen. I'm saying it to the person that has created it, the being that has created everything. Everything. Not only has he created everything, but he is giving me existence even now. Even right now, he's giving me existence. Even right now, he's giving me existence. You say, how? What do you mean he's giving me existence right now? Well, in Surah Ikhlas, when you read لَمْ يَلِدْ وَلَمْ يُولَدْ, of course, one obvious understanding of it is that Allah wasn't born and He doesn't give birth. We know this. And this is true, and this is correct. This can be correct, and in the same time, it can have a deeper meaning. What's the deeper meaning? The deeper meaning is the connection between us and Allah. What's the connection between us and Allah? Here, in this ayah, Allah is trying to tell you, listen, my connection with you is not the same connection that you have with your mother. It's not that when a mother gives birth to their child and you cut the cord, the umbilical cord, you can have a different existence and the mother has a different existence. As in to say, if the mother now ceased to exist, God forbid they die, the baby can still live. Our connection with Allah is not that. It's not that Allah has created the universe and has left somewhere else. Sometimes we see in these movies, Hollywood movies. It's not that Allah has created the universe, now He's gone somewhere else. When it says, "Min habl al-barid," closer than the vein in your neck, it means that your existence is constantly coming from Allah. Yes, it is with the permission of Allah that your heart beats. Every single beat is with the permission of Allah. Yes. Constant connection. To say that if Allah for 1 second doesn't pay attention to me as in wants to take away my life, He will be able to take my life. Yes. On the spot. Constant connection with Allah. But we need to understand, we have iman of this. The understanding to this point makes me rise up. Allah has a plan for everything in the universe. He's connected. He's connected. There's a beautiful poetry in Persian poetry. If you guys see some of these Persian poetries, they have hikmat on them. It tells a story. It tells stories. One of the stories is talking about a miner. This miner is going and mining, for example, rocks. And he's looking at all the rocks. Each of these rocks, as he's trying to, for example, mine them out and take them to do whatever that he wants to do with the rocks, he sees one of them is very cold on the bottom, even though these rocks are very hot. Maybe they might be down in a cave or wherever they are, they're very hot, but this one is very cold. When he broke the rock and opened it to see why is this one very cold, he saw there's some insects living beneath it. He thought to himself, this is sometimes ulil al-albab that is in the ayah, towards the end of the ayah of Al Imran, page 75 if I'm not mistaken, the middle of the page. When it says ulil al-albab, that these things that you see, the khalq of Allah, and these show to you the truth of how Allah has created the universe. These are lessons to you, hikmat. This person sees that yes, these insects are living. And he thinks to himself that even here, Allah's hikmat can be seen. Even underneath this place where there is no light, He's keeping this stone cold for these insects to be able to live. Even to this extent, deep in the depths of the oceans, there's creatures living, and there's a hikmah for them. There's a hikmah for them. One insect moves here, it has an effect on the other side of the universe. Our Imams knew this 1,400 years ago. Now physics is trying to prove it. So yes, if, for example, the butterfly effect. One side, a butterfly flaps their wings, on another side, a hurricane happens. Or other laws that you can see today happening. Allah is saying that I have created the universe with perfection. I have created insan with perfection. Now they're looking into the eye of a human being. How perfect is it? How has Allah created all of this? You see the golden ratio, a concept in mathematics, in many of God's creations. You see the Fibonacci sequence. You see so on and so, all these intelligent design. Intelligent design. And I'm not trying to say that this is the only proof or the best proof for God's existence. No, it's just to make us understand that Allah has a plan for everything. He's a part of creation. He's not separated from creation. It's not that Allah is here and okay, He's over there and we need to reach Him there. No, He's here.
Nare Takbir, Nare Risalat, Ya Rasulullah, Nare Haydari, Ya Rasulullah.
There was an interesting story from I heard from a pastor, a Christian pastor, and it was very interesting to me. He was speaking about a kind of like a story of two twins in their mother's womb. I don't know if many of you might have heard it. One of the twins says to the other, do you believe in life after delivery? And the other twin says, are you joking with me? There's no scientific proof for life after delivery. You think that there's life after delivery? He said, well, maybe it is. He said, well, if that's true, why hasn't anyone come back from life after delivery? And to tell us, for example, this is how the other world is. He says, well, what if it's not like this world? What if they go, it's just we're living in a different environment. What if we can eat food? And the other twin says, what are you talking about, eat food? We know that scientifically it has been proven that we have food and sustenance with this cord that is connected to us. There is no way, this mouth is not for eating. He says, but what if it's not like this? The other one says, what if it's not like this? What if we can run with these legs and play with these arms? And what if when we go there, we see mother? And the other twin laughs. He says, mother? You believe in that concept? Mother? Okay. Well, you say if mother exists, where is she now? Where is she? And the other twin says, well, what if she's all around us? What if she's all around us? We are within her that we live. We are inside of her that we live. And the other twin says, well, that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. The first one says, you know what? Sometimes when I close my eyes and I'm really, really silent and I listen, I can feel her presence. I can feel my mother's presence. Truly, brothers and sisters, is that not the case? Is that not the case that when we're truly silent in that moment, who do we go to? Who is it that we want more than when we call upon? It's Allah. We call upon Allah. Imam Salar says this. He says, those who do not believe in Allah when they are stuck on a ship and they're about to sink, over there they never doubt Allah. What's the first thing that they call upon? What is the first thing that they call upon? I remember once I was traveling from Tehran, we were taking a plane to Mashhad. And if you guys even look back, maybe it was like 8 years ago, 9 years ago, it was in the news as well. This plane took off, wanted to take off. The people on the plane, a few of them were joking around and they weren't very religious. And the flight was going on the birthday of Imam. And the captain said salawat, for everyone to recite salawat, and no one really did. It was only a few. Maybe the row in front of me said it, and us. And the other ones were making fun. They were joking about reciting salawat and stuff. And I turned to the person next to me and I said, we'll be lucky if the plane doesn't fall. And as we took off, something happened to the wheels and we hit the ground again. So it didn't take off properly. Nothing happened, but it took off again. Everyone in the plane was reciting salawat. Everyone. And for me, it was I started laughing. I was thinking exactly of the hadith of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam there. That yes, when it gets to their lives, they get very afraid. Quickly, they turn to Allah. And then when we landed and everything was fine and they opened the doors and we all came out, everyone went back to their own lives. And like nothing happened. Everything was okay. Everything was okay. For them it was the same thing. We go back to our lives. But again, when something happens to them, still because Allah is Arhamar Rahimeen, because He loves us more than our parents even, because He is that loving being, even in that moment when you turn back to Allah, He forgives you. He takes you back. He says, there's no problem. This is the rahmat of Allah that has no bounds. It's limitless. No matter what we do, until this time, this opportunity, this exam paper is still open in front of us, we still have time. We still have time. This is what means the Arhamar. Why is He Arhamar Rahimeen? Now, the same Allah has told you, listen, if you want to come to me, go through the servants of mine that are the best. Go through the servants that are the best. These individuals, I want you to come to me through these individuals. Now there's many reasons. There's philosophical reasons, there's theological reasons why. But I don't want to bore the brothers and sisters with these reasons. I'll give you another reason. Allah wants you to go this way. That's enough. That Allah wants us to go this way. We have enough evidence from the Quran and the Sunnah that yes, Allah wants you to go through wasila. One of the wasila is the Ma'sumin alayhi salam. If you did not need the wasila, even the malaika in the time of Hazrat Adam alayhi salam wouldn't need to bow down to Adam. They're saying, if you want to reach me, Shaitan prayed to Allah, 6,000 years, according to Nahj al-Balagha. Still Allah says, if you want to reach me, after doing all of that, what are you supposed to do? Go through my valley. The valley of my time right now is Adam. Go through Adam. If you agree, then you will go up. If you do not agree, you fall back down again. True? Those individuals in the story of Karbala that chose to be with Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, those that chose to be with Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, they reached Allah. They went through their Imam. And alhamdulillah. Look how alive they are. Look how alive they are. That's even in every single continent that we can see. Maybe not Antarctica, but every other continent. Now the word of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, the story of the Shuhada of Karbala is being told. Is this not important? Does this not show how important these individuals are, how alive these individuals are? And not just that their name is being mentioned normally, no. People love these individuals. They admire these individuals. They want to try to live like these individuals. Anyone that hears the story of Abu Abdullah, anyone that hears the story of the Ma'sumin, anyone that hears the story of the Shuhada of Karbala, no matter what sect of religion you are, whatever religion you are, they still say, what a story, what individuals? Who are these individuals? What good character did these individuals have? Not only did they not leave their Imam alone, and they stood and they had courage and bravery, some of them, if not all of them, they were mabhut in Abu Abdullah Hussein. They were completely dissolved in Abu Abdullah Hussein. They loved Abu Abdullah Hussein. Just how Abu Abdullah Hussein was in love with Allah. In those last moments, the night of Tawheed, before night of Ashura, a night like this, before the Zuhr of Ashura, Abu Abdullah said, what did he want to do? He wanted to read the Quran. He wanted to recite Quran. Hear the beautiful words of Allah. Is this not love? He reads the Quran like he's reading a letter from his love. That's how he's reading the Quran. One of the ulama, towards the end of his life, a lot of people went to visit him. And they said to the other scholars that were going to visit him, they said, go and visit him, but don't read Quran near him. His heart can't take it. Because as soon as you read Quran, he starts crying. And his heart starts to race. So the doctors have said, don't read Quran next to him. SubhanAllah. Can we also be like this? That we get excited by reading the Quran, reading the words of Allah, saying, why can I not read this and be excited that I want to take in more, and I want more when I hear these beautiful verses. This needs action. This means that I need to live a life of the Quran. I need to live a life that Abu Abdullah led. If I live in that way, then I will become like Abu Abdullah Hussein. If for me, Salah becomes so important that whether I'm in the Zuhr of Ashura, I get up and I perform my prayer. In the Zuhr of Ashura, I perform my prayer. If not even higher than this, Hazrat Zainab Salamullah alayhi, it is narrated from Imam Sajjad alayhi salam that my auntie Hazrat Zainab, when she was going back to Damascus in those times that of course we know how, we've all heard the stories of the trials and tribulations that she had to endure. In those times, not a single Salat al-Layl was qaza. Not normal Salat. Not normal Salat of the Salat al-Yawmiyyah. No. Even Salat al-Layl, she never missed a single one. In that time. In that time. Brothers and sisters, one thing happens in our life, we forget everything. We forget everything. Let alone Salat al-Layl. But in that difficulty, in that time, no, she wasn't. Her namaz, her salat was on time. In that difficulty. Why? Because for her, ma ra'aytu illa jamila. It's all for Allah. We're all a part of this program that Allah has. Whether you are that small little insect under that stone, that cold stone, whether you are trying to be martyred for Abu Abdullah Hussein, we're all in the program of Allah. We're all in this universe that Allah has created. But you, as human beings, are the only creatures in the whole world that can decide where you want to be. Where you want to be. No other creation has this choice. Only you have it. Khalq al-Bilyadayn, He's created you with both hands. You have a choice. That we are the greatest creation. We are the greatest creation because we have the capability. Not that everyone will be the greatest. No, you have to choose. You have to decide. You have to persist. And you have to stick with it. Not one day, not 2 days. No. Till the day we die, we have to do it. We can choose. We're the only creatures in the entire universe that can choose where you want to be in the spectrum. Do you want to be like the Shuhada of Abu Abdullah? You want to be there? Bismillah, work on it. Do you want me to be the lowest? And of course the lowest isn't insect. No, even that insect is in the path of Allah. No, the lowest beings, the people that faced Abu Abdullah and were against Abu Abdullah. We want to be in that category, be in the category of zulm. And there are only these two paths. Either you're with Abu Abdullah or you're not. Or you're not. It doesn't, those who didn't stand with Abu Abdullah doesn't mean that their sin is any less. They abandoned Abu Abdullah, it isn't that their sin is anything less. Because if those individuals would have stayed with Abu Abdullah, this wouldn't have happened. He was left with 72. 72. But brothers and sisters, me and you, we can choose. Which one do you choose? After we come out of this door today, what path are we going to choose? Where do we want to be in this spectrum? Do we want to choose to be in the in the path of haqq, in the path of Abu Abdullah. We come here, we do matam, we cry for Abu Abdullah. Do we want to be in that path? Is that what we want? In this universe, this beautiful universe that Allah has created and has gave you this opportunity. And especially I'm speaking to the ones that are younger, because of course they're at the beginning. They have this opportunity now to keep this purity and build on it. Now where do you want to be? Where do you want to be in this spectrum? It's not late, of course. Never late. It's never late. In this moment I can decide I want to live a life, an Ashura'i life. An Ashura'i life. Or do I want to live a life which is comfortable for me, for now, comfortable. I want to be comfortable. And what intention am I doing these deeds? What intention do I have when I perform my prayers? Am I constantly thinking about how can I excel? How can I get better with my a'mal, with my knowledge, everything that I have? How can I get better? Am I constantly thinking of that? Am I trying to better myself? Because the companions of Abu Abdullah, they did, brothers and sisters. They did, they truly did. Habib ibn Mazahir, one of the qualities that he says that we have, he says we have vilayat. Another quality, he says we are with haqq. We know that haqq is on our side. We are with haqq, and with haqq we will die. Even if we have to give our life. Even if we have to give our families' lives. Even if we know that it will be hell for our families, that they will take them away from these lands, and they will have, of course, terrible things happen. But I will still be on the path of haqq. I'm willing to give my life. This is a shaheed mindset. This is a true mindset of this concept that I began the lecture with, La ilaha illallah. That's what it truly means. The truth of La ilaha illallah is shown in Karbala, brothers and sisters. I said this story is a story of Tawheed. True Tawheed is love. Abu Abdullah showed, if you really say La ilaha illallah, how are you going to show it? How are you going to show it? Showing La ilaha illallah, not just saying La ilaha illallah, is if you're going to be with Abu Abdullah there. Because saying it, the other side said it as well. Was it of any use? Was that La ilaha illallah of any use? Did that save them from the hellfire? No. It wasn't of any use. The words are not what matters. They're words, we must say them, of course. It is the distinction fiqh-wise of being a Muslim. Not where you're going to go in the hereafter. Yes, fiqh-wise I say La ilaha, there is no God but Allah. And I say Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Allahumma salli ala. But this doesn't guarantee me anything. Yes, I say the words, and then I act upon it. Then I have the same akhlaq, the same etiquette that Rasulullah and his household had. I have the same mindset, the same importance to the do's and don'ts of Allah that they had. If I can have that, alhamdulillah. That's true. That's true La ilaha illallah. Showing it. And there will be for a fact opportunities that I can show this La ilaha illallah. That's when I cannot fall. That moment is a moment that I mustn't fall. Because if I do, you won't rise. You won't rise. You won't have the next level of iman. If that moment comes to you that you're completely angry, someone said something offensive, all these other things, I need to pay my khums, I need to do prayer on time, all these different things that has happened to me, in that moment, if I can do the correct one, do the correct deed, do my duty in the best way, if I can do that, alhamdulillah. And there will be tests. We all have many tests in our lives, a few of them more important than others, in those opportunities, those golden opportunities for me to rise. And I will promise you, brothers and sisters, I promise you, if you decide to be on this path more so than you were before, you decide more seriously to be on this path, get ready for problems. get ready for problems. It will not be a case where it's going to be a breeze. No. There will be problems. Maybe even more so. It might be. You don't know. It might be. Over there, ask Allah for help. And have the Ahlul Bayt. Have the Ahlul Bayt. And this is one of the qualities of the ziyarat of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. One of it is that it takes bala away from you. Some of the bala will be taken away from you. The ziyarat of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein takes some of the bala away from you. And we've of course seen that, for example, performing prayer under the dome of Abu Abdullah or performing many things over there is something different. Why is it? Why is it that we say over there is different? Is all the ground not Allah's? Out of all the grounds, all these lands are Allah's land, but why does it make a difference? Why does it make a difference? Why does it, for example, make a difference being in Qom? Why is it in the hadith, it says there's 8 doors of heaven, 3 are in Qom? Meaning is that there's 3 times more likely to be guided in Qom. Why? Why is it over there is important? Why is Kaaba so important? Why is Medina so important? It's simple. We have the same situation here. We have the same situation. The level that you are receiving over there is much different. Much different. The year that, if I'm not mistaken, that the Olympics or one of these sport events happened, for example, if I'm not mistaken, in Brazil, I'm not 100% sure about the country, but one of the countries that it was taken, they said that there will be more world records. Why? Because the gravity is less there. You know, gravity is not all the same in all the world. Around the world, different places have less gravity. Some places have more gravity. Yes? They said it's a little bit less, and that will have an effect on people, for example, jumping, or people, the high jumps that they will perform, and so on and so forth. They said it will have an effect. Gravity is different. Yes, spirituality in some places are different. When you are in a place where that place is muta'allaq to Imam al-Zaman, like Masjid al-Jamkiran, or that place is muta'allaq to Imam Hussein alayhi salam, which is in Karbala, where that event has taken place, of course it will be different. It's like for me to say, I want to study in, for example, high school, and I want to study in university. It's different, the levels are different. That place is different. Your attention is different there. Coming to a place that is under that name is different. The masjid is different. We know the sawab for a masjid. Just the fact that this name belongs, the masjid belongs to Allah, it is the house of Allah, is different. And these are opportunities that Allah has created for us. He's created these opportunities so I can take advantage of these moments. I can go to these places and I can better myself. These places are important. I want for the brothers and sisters this point of ziyarah to be important. We have to plan for it. We have to try and plan to go to these ziyarah, to better myself. When we go there and we ask, Ya Imam Hussein, do not let the same person come back. I'm leaving Montreal. Don't let the same person come back to Montreal. One of my friends actually mentioned, he said that he went to his teacher and he said, I'm going to for Hajj, I'm going to Mecca. And his teacher said, I hope you never come back. And he looked at him, what do you mean I never come back? He said, no, I hope you never come back. Someone else comes back. A person of Tawheed comes back. That when you come back, it's not you, but all of you speaks La ilaha illallah, because you're going to do Hajj. You're going to do Hajj. Inshallah, that if by the blessings of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, in these nights, Ya Abu Abdullah, we come to these nights, we come to this majalis. When we leave, we're not ourselves. All a part of our soul, everything within us is Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. We become like the companions of Abu Abdullah. So we become like those individuals that there was no me, there was no I within them. Everything spoke Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, or everything spoke to their wali, to their imam. And inshallah, if we do that, then the imam will come. Imam Zaman alayhi salam. Ruhi wa abahum alayhi. Nare Hadri, Father bless her. Brothers and sisters, respected elders, this is the last night. This is the last night before Ashura. Let's not lose this chance for crying for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. As in the hadith is, al-Buka al-Hussein washes all the sins away. What better opportunity to cry for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein than this night? Than this amazing night for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. There is no other night like this night to cry for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. All together, Assalamu ala al-Hussein wa ala ali ibn al-Hussein wa ala awlad al-Hussein wa ala ashab al-Hussein. Brothers and sisters, one of the most hurtful stories in Karbala is the story of Hazrat Ali Asghar. Truly, it has been narrated that when a person came to say to the story to Imam Sajjad alayhi salam, Imam Sajjad said, "Tell me about Harmaleh. Tell me what happened to him." After the story, of course, of when there was a war and he was killed, he said, No, tell me what happened to Harmaleh. What did they do to Harmaleh? What did Mukhtar do to Harmaleh? He burnt our hearts, the hearts of the Ahlul Bayt, like no other person has. Tell me what has happened to this evil person. La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah. We want to today speak from the tongue of the mother of Hazrat Ali Asghar. La 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 golan, la 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 la. She was singing to her beautiful son that tonight, sleep tonight. Inshallah, tomorrow there will be water. But sleep this one more night. Maybe tomorrow mother will have milk. La 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 golam, la 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 la. Sleep tonight, my dear Ali. Tomorrow you will have some water. Your uncle has gone to the fountain to bring back but a few drops of water. When Hazrat Ali Asghar is crying for water, these evil people, what do? Few drops of water. What is a few drops of water to a 6-month-old child that cannot fight? There is no enemy here. There is no enemy here. Who are you fighting with? Abu Abdullah comes to this army and says, but just give a little bit of water. For him, not for me. For him. If not, give him water and then give me back my son. They answered, Abu Abdullah, not with water, but an arrow that has 3 heads. Ya Mal'un. How big is the neck of a 6-month-old child that he can take an arrow that has 3 heads? In this narration, I hope this narration is wrong, brothers and sisters. Ya Abu Abdullah, in the narration it says that Ali Asghar's throat was cut from one ear to the other. La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah. Ya Abu Abdullah, what did you have to endure? Seeing your beloved Ali Asghar detached with his head, not knowing where to go. Abu Abdullah couldn't go back to the tents. He couldn't take this child back to his mother. He said, you went for water. Is this water? Is this our water? Abu Abdullah went behind the tents of Hazrat Zainab to bury Hazrat Ali Asghar. لا يومكم كيوم عبد الله. Brothers and sisters, there was another beloved head that was taken from us, and that head was Aba Abdullah al-Hussein. When they tried to cut Aba Abdullah from the front, Abu Abdullah said, did you not know that this is the place that the lips of Rasulullah has touched? Don't cut from this side. It's not possible to cut from this side. But that was not still enough. It wasn't enough for these mal'oonin to understand the evil ways, their evil deeds, and to come back. No, what happened is they took Abu Abdullah and cut from behind. In some narrations it says not with a sharp blade, but with a blunt blade, just to torture Abu Abdullah even more. La yawmuka ka yawm al-'abd. Ya Abu Abdullah, Ya Abu Abdullah, my only thanks to Allah is that after that moment, Ya Abu Abdullah, you weren't there to see what happened to the tents of Hazrat Zainab. After you left, you didn't see what happened to the tents as they burnt the tents of Hazrat Zainab. Salaamullah alayhi. In those moments when Hazrat Ruqayyah was asking, bring me my father, bring me my father, what did they do? What did they do, brothers and sisters? What did they do to this young child? Anything more evil than bringing the head of her father? La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah. سيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون باسمك العظيم الأعظم أجل الأكبر بك يا الله يا الله يا الله يا الله يا الله يا الله. Inshallah, my baby, inshallah, because of these events that we have taken on the night of Ashura, brothers and sisters, all of us will be the closest companions. Many brothers and sisters around the world have asked that you would pray for them, for their problems that they are facing with health issues, whether it be economical issues, all the issues that they have in their lives. So please, let's not forget them in these prayers. Not only just do prayer for ourselves, but for them as well. By praying for them, Allah will listen to our prayers as well, inshallah. All together 3 times. Let's do Amma Yujib. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Amma